Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about Shelby Oaks. It is the featured directorial debut of Chris Stuckmann, a YouTube film critic who took the leap from reviewing movies online to actually making one. And honestly, that is a story worth telling even before we dive into the movie. Let's start with context. Shelby Oaks is a crowd-funded passion project, the most funded horror film in Kickstarter history, with over $1.4 million from fans who wanted to see Stuckmann's vision come to life. That's a pretty big deal. And then after that massive grassroots support, Neon, one of my favorite film distributors, came in with additional money to clean things up. So already you have this fascinating setup. A critic becomes a creator backed by fans, backed by a real distributor. That's not your standard horror movie pipeline, and you can feel that energy throughout Shelby Oaks. It's a mix of deep affection for the genre and some of the trappings that come with being a first-time filmmaker. FYI, this review will contain minor spoilers. At its core, Shelby Oaks is a paranormal mystery. We follow Mia Brennan Walker, who's haunted by the disappearance of her younger sister Riley. Riley was part of a YouTube group called the Paranormal Paranoids, a sorta ghost adventure style crew that went viral investigating creepy locations. The movie opens with interview segments, documentary clips, and that old YouTube vibe. The found footage mockumentary hybrid intro is genuinely cool because it feels like you're watching a viral mystery unravel right in front of you. However, despite having a cool vibe, the intro does wear its welcome and start to veer towards boring territory. But once Mia digs into the mystery and leaves the found footage world behind, Shelby Oaks starts shifting tones. It becomes less about mystery and more about supernatural horror. For me, this is where the movie gets both good and cliche. I really enjoyed the occult and supernatural layers in this movie. The occult imagery, rituals, and sense that something deeply wrong is tied to the town's history, all of that stuff worked for me. It's intentional and eerie, and it plays well with the flickering atmosphere. I especially appreciated that this movie doesn't shy away from making it obvious that yes, witchcraft is being practiced, and there's a darker entity pulling strings behind the scenes. The idea that a sacred power corrupts and manipulates is a gross fear. I understand it's a cliche, but I don't really care because it works. The one thing about the occult things in this movie that I didn't really care for is the hellhounds. I think it's something that didn't land with me because it contrasts a little too much with some of the grounded supernatural things in the film. It almost twists the tone from grim occult to supernatural fantasy. I think this undermines some of the dread built by the more psychological and haunting elements. In fact, I think the hellhounds are what make the climax not fully land for me. There's a moment where they get involved and I kind of just felt like, oh, that was predictable and I wish we'd seen something different. Don't get me wrong, I liked the ending, I just didn't like that aspect of it. Given that Mia and Riley's history is tied to the supernatural elements, let's talk about their characters, or at the very least their actors. I think both Camille Sullivan and Sarah Dern do a good job in this movie. They don't give wow performances, but they get the job done. Camille shows a great amount of obsession and emotional fragility, and you can feel that desperation of her character. That said, her character made some really stupid decisions that did not resonate with me. For example, when she was exploring the abandoned prison on her own, she made no attempts to let anyone know where she was going. She knew it could be dangerous, but kept it hush-hush. Sure, it can be explained away within the story, but it just wasn't quite what I would have expected or wanted out of our protagonist. On the other hand, Sarah gives Riley a youthful and exploratory energy early on, so you're constantly wondering what really happened to her. Robin Bartlett gives us the creepiest energy in the film, and I think her performance is what elevates this movie. Overall, the cast largely feels believable and grounded, which makes the jump into horror and supernatural elements feel earned. Visually, Shelby Oaks is impressive, especially considering it was made for just over $1 million. The opening sequences that weave found footage and documentary cutaways are atmospheric and sometimes genuinely eerie, making great use of shadows, darkness, and grainy textures to build tension. Once the film transitions into traditional cinematic style, it loses some of the charm that the found footage vibe had. The shots are all well executed, but some parts feel a little too visually polished for the kind of horror the story is telling. That's not necessarily bad, it just contributes to that tonal shift. The moments in the movie that I really liked were at the abandoned prison and the creepy farmhouse. Those felt like proper horror movie moments because they were evocative and spooky. One place where Shelby Oaks consistently succeeds is with the music and the sound design. The soundtrack pushes you into that unsettling space where anything could happen. Even in quieter scenes, scenes, the score haunts you, and when the sound design leans into silence or low drones, it becomes genuinely unsettling. Now, for the big picture, the part of Shelby Oaks that I really connected with is that at its best, it blends paranormal investigation culture, obsession, family trauma, occult horror into a package that feels personal and eerie. It taps into that classic horror theme that the thing you fear might be inside of you, or maybe you're being targeted. There's a weird emotional undercurrent with how Mia's grief fuels her obsession, the strain with her husband Robert, and her family history looms over every spooky encounter. These aren't just genre beats, they're human beats. I think that's why the movie resonates with me more than just a regular haunted house genre flick. Plus, for a movie that was an hour and 31 minutes, I think it was the perfect runtime. Every beat moved along at just the right pace, so I never felt bored or like I was waiting for something to happen or be explained, which to me means the pacing and direction were good. I walked away feeling pretty satisfied by Shelby Oaks, even if I wasn't completely blown away. It isn't a perfect movie, and it didn't live up to the sky-high expectations that came with such a unique production backstory, but it is a solid, well-made debut with real heart behind it. You can feel Chris Stuckmann's love for horror, for paranormal investigation culture, and for atmosphere in almost every frame, even when some of the creative choices don't fully land for me. For a first feature, that matters a lot. This is a good movie with strong vibes, effective sound design, and genuinely eerie moments held back a bit by tonal shifts, predictable beats, and some frustrating character decisions. More than anything, this feels like the foundation of something bigger. I'm genuinely excited to see how he refines his voice and craft moving forward. Anyways, if you're a horror fan, I think this movie is absolutely worth checking out. If you're not a horror fan, bro, why did you even watch this review? Just skip this movie. Thank you for listening to my review of Shelby Oaks. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the video, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if you want me to review something, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.